Reddit's darkest corners. Let's ride.
Very quick.
Thanks for
The
your
first
sub,
announcement
Carney
is
in blood.
600,000 subscribers. The last video,
This channel's
I was freaking
popping
out about
off.
500,000. Thank you to all the newcomers that are coming from Critical's channel. First of all, Charlie, thank you so much. I know I told you thank you in DMs, and by the way, guys, the fact that I spoke to
He's
Critical,
such a
like,
sweetheart.
literally a dream come true. I sound
Unironically,
like
he's such a
broken record,
sweetheart.
but I feel like let's just go even deeper than the surface. This video will be a little
You
bit
don't
different
want to
because I
go
asked you
deeper
guys
than the
over my
surface on
community tab
Reddit.
to help me out. r/Jizzy cards.
Jizzy cards.
937 members. Oh boy, we're starting off strong with this one. Okay, r/Jizzy cards. If you had to take a guess of what that even meant, go ahead, take a guess.
All right, I bet I can nail this. I would imagine it's people doing cum tributes on old video game cartridges. I would say it's people that like, I love Ocarina of Time so much. Here's the N64 cartridge. Just fucking blast it. That would be my guess.
certain you wouldn't have guessed men ejaculating onto video game cartridges and
But I did. I fucking did.
discs for fun. Yeah.
Yep,
pretty
but I
much.
did.
There's only
I know these communities so fucking well. I've never heard of Jizzy Carts. I know this shit so well. Because there's other communities like this. Like I mentioned cum tributes. This is huge for like figurines. So like U2s. U2s has their own cum tribute community where people will get U2s of their favorite YouTuber or whatever and they'll literally just cum on it. They'll put it in jars and shit. Yeah, it's huge. It's fucking huge. So I knew right away Jizzy Carts had to be video game related. I bet most people go to like shopping carts or something of cum, but I fucking knew exactly where this was gonna go.
the main user posting these images goes
Oh,
by.
I want to read the request. What did he want? If it wasn't Donkey Kong 64, they fucked up. That's a cool cartridge. Oh, better yet, Majora's Mask. That had the holographic. Good to see a rareware game being humiliated like this. I would shoot a load on Conker's Bad Fur Day, but I'm low on money at the moment. It costs nothing to ejaculate. Unless you have to put like a quarter in like a jar at your house like for every time you sin. I don't know what you mean. I guess like he has to buy the game.
User snapped fingers. This story begins with the user claiming that they can see things that aren't actually there, like paranormal things, and that they were told by experts on Discord that they have to make a sacrifice,
Experts
a significant
on
part of
Discord, huh?
themselves, in order for the interdimensional beings to leave them alone. Discord experts? Like...
Yeah,
It's
that's
already
what
a
I
red
said.
flag. The things they describe
That's definitely a red flag.
Dark figures, that of Worthless 319, which we already covered on the channel, so make sure to watch that after this video. Eventually,
Wordless 319 was the video we watched. It's about the Redditor who claimed he blew his cock off to save the world with a gun. I'm pretty sure it was all a hoax. I looked into it further after the stream. I'm almost 100% sure that was all just a big, like, ooh, so edgy kind of thing. The pictures weren't even of, like, a dick that had been shot by a gun. It was just more of, like, a really deformed, weird wiener. Like, I don't know how to describe it. But yeah, that was definitely not like a real thing. But the penectomy shit is real. There are people that do actually cut their cocks and all of that, but it wasn't that Redditor doing it.
Snapped Fingers questions the reality of there being a hell portal in the Paris catacombs and explains that they're booking a flight to put an end to this. Thus, the former limestone mines
Someone got
of
lost in the
became a
Paris
space
catacombs and
referred to
died.
as the catacombs. So yeah, it's a
I think
very
there's like a
creepy
YouTube
place
video
which
about
you
it.
can actually go visit some of it. I used to run track back when I was in junior high school. I can likely outrun any possessed people. I am excited to finally close this chapter of my life and shut that blasted portal off
Christ.
for good. Now, personally, I do think this person was suffering from schizophrenia. Or, I could be completely wrong, this could be someone just looking for attention. The thing with these Redditor stories...
Most
that we
likely
talk about
attention
the
when
channel
on
is that
Reddit.
we don't r/coming on figurines. 35...
That's what I was just fucking talking about. This is where they'll do like U2s, Marvel figurines, all kinds of shit. I was just talking about that. Yeah, this one's kind of popular. They go kind of wild. All right.
/cum tagging, 2,000 members. But yeah, this one's just the guys splurging on objects. Men splurging on objects. I mean, that's it. There's nothing more to explain to that. We have public trash cans, airport toilet paper holders, campus bathrooms.
I
and
actually-
doors. Yeah.
So I don't know about cum tagging, but I do know there was a... I don't want to give too much away about the guy. I've talked about it before. We've talked about it before on the podcast. We used to have this thing where we talk to people from the Patreon podcast, and one of the people that was a regular is a U.S. soldier, and he was on a submarine. He was on one of the nuclear subs So in between his tours, he'd come on to the hangout with us, and he'd always tell us the stories about like the people on the subs to pass time will literally just like come on things in the sub. I don't know how real that is, or if it was just like his degenerate crew or whatever, but it's apparently like super common, at least on that vessel, because he would talk about it like pretty much every time he came back. Do we have any other like submarine boys in here that can confirm or deny? What episode? No, it was like just hangouts where we just talked to people. It was a while ago. We haven't done that in a couple of years now. I heard living on those is fucking horrible. Oh, it sounds absolutely miserable. Yeah, it sounds true. I can't imagine a worse career than being on a submarine. You can't leave it. You're confined to such tight space, and apparently all your friends are just ejaculating on everything. Sounds terrible.
I found a lot of subreddits that are now archived. They don't exist anymore, right? But we have r/beating women. We have r/r-wording women.
Jesus Christ.
I hate women. We have r/just r-word. I'm not gonna go through what. I mean, you guys can imagine.
Yeah, I can pretty much take a guess.
Look at the suggestions.
Oh my god, what the fuck is this? There's a thing on Reddit where like almost every sub has the same moderators. I wonder if they were mods on here. I imagine at least one or two of them were. There's only like 100 mods on all of Reddit, and they happen to mod every other subreddit on that fucking site. Like, there's some mods that are literally a power mod of 100 other different subreddits. Was that first one Tub Girl? I didn't read it.
Pissers gone wild. 1.2 thousand members. We fuck shit up. This community is for the dedicated sink pissers who want to take their game to the next level.
Fuck yeah,
Created
finally.
in 2019. This is a subreddit dedicated to people peeing in sinks.
Finally, my kind of people.
Is pointless at this point. We're
my
talking
brethren.
about Reddit, and I'm sure some of them are gonna watch this. My videos get very popular now, and if I'm offending any of you, I'm sorry. I don't want any of you to fucking pull up to my house and start peeing in my sink.
True, you don't want to fuck with the sink pissers.
Not like I have a piss kink or anything. I don't. I mean, imagine going to a friend's house and then thinking, "Oh boy, I can't wait to take a piss in their sink and record it for."
I'm sure everyone's pissed in a sink at least once in their life. Like, let's not mince words.
Make sure to leave a like, and if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe.
We've all been 2 or 3 Bud Lights deep, 19 years old, and
an extremely sad story.
It's a little wacky.
Last word. r/jailbait. The Urban Dictionary definition.
Oh, that was a big one back in the day.
A female who is under the age of consent.
That shit was fucked.
Acts, and at the time, Eric Martin.
They used it at the front page almost every week.
Subreddits, including jailbait, by claiming that it was one of the side effects of promoting free expression on the web. Reddit administrators took down the subreddit after a user shared a picture of an underage teenager, saying that he had nude photos of her as well. And many users were requesting, send me. Yeah, it's just pretty disgusting stuff.
Yeah, he's underselling how popular that was. Back when I first found Reddit, I would have been, what, a junior in high school? Jailbait was usually on the front page. That was a massive fucking subreddit. That would, what year would that have been? 2011-ish? It was fucking crazy. Yeah, and that was like, for some reason on Reddit, that like was totally normal. And I remember someone made a big hoopla. I don't remember, it might have been r/atheism to be honest, because that was also huge then. Someone made like a huge hoopla, like, why the fuck are we just allowing like open pedophiles on the site, like super transparent? And they're like, no, jailbait's fine. Jailbait's good for Reddit, actually. And it was like a huge controversy when people were like, we need to get jailbait the fuck out of here. But they fought tooth and nail. That was on there for a long time. Like a really long time. Much longer than you'd expect.
Alright guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Don't click off yet. Don't click off yet.
I knew almost all of those.
In the community, people were saying that
he didn't even cover True Cells, which is surprising.
And I just cover them in a mediocre way.
Do you guys remember True Cells? That was a little bit before the big incel explosion. Wow. Most people don't seem to remember it. True Cells was basically, they were the progenitor to modern incels. They had a lot of very sad dudes that would post shit like women should be kept on farms and men should be allowed to buy women to fuck them. Like really horrible stuff. Like incel shit before it became mainstream. That one was pretty wild. They had like full websites full of like hundreds of pages where people would like write some real gross shit and their weird view on the world. Oh, that was another one he didn't cover. The sounding subreddit. That actually might still be popping off. I remember the sounding subreddit was pretty wild in its infancy. There was a guy that stuck like a pretty sizable dildo in his cock hole. Of course, it wasn't like full-sized or anything, but it was still like a fucking impressive feat. Yeah, sounding is when you put things in your urethra. And there is a subreddit for it. I'm assuming it's still there. Did it hurt? I don't know, man. I'm not that guy. I would imagine it would. Yeah. I would guess. Darkest TikTok iceberg. Why do people keep asking for that? Oh, I actually remember this story. I haven't seen his video on it, but I remember this was on Reddit. There was a random TikTok that was taken, well, at least this story, I guess the whole thing might not be connected. A random TikTok taken of a girl with like a black eye and shit. And then Redditors actually were the ones that maybe potentially connected her to a missing persons case. I don't remember the result. I don't know if it actually turned out to be true or not, but yeah, I guess we'll check it out, sure.
We're doing it from most tame to most gruesome. This video gets really, really, really dark, and it sounds so ironic because it's TikTok, but you guys would be
TikTok's a fucked platform.
Also, I made
Shit's
this
nutty.
list. I hope you guys watch the whole thing. By the way, make sure to follow me on Instagram and subscribe to the channel if you are not already. Actually, don't subscribe yet. I'll earn your subscription by the end of this video.
Hey.
Without botting accounts. Like most social media, TikTok has
underwhelming.
Users that want followers can easily look
Everyone
up
knows
how to buy
TikTok's
TikTok
botted the
followers
fuck.
on Google. I don't know how lame you have to be to do that stuff.
Hey, fun
Jail
fact.
talk.
That's how Travis Scott started. Travis Scott bought all of his followers on SoundCloud when he started. His manager came out and said that Travis Scott, paid him to set up a bot farm for his SoundCloud engagements, and then he was able to pitch that manufactured success to a record label. So yeah, that shit really works.
Fetishization of murderers. TikTok
True
is a
crime.
place for anyone with any interest.
That was big
It's no
on
doubt
Tumblr.
Some people are push the boundary a little when they begin romanticizing these murderers. Take Cameron Herron, for example.
Oh,
in
Jesus,
April
yeah.
of this year, this
Fuck.
21-year-old man was sentenced to a total of 24 years in
Actually
prison
forgot
for
about
killing
that.
a 24-year-old mom and her baby during an illegal street race. Yet people on TikTok were begging for his freedom because he is quote-unquote cute. With dedicated fan edits, comments like, chances should be given and he deserves it. And he is innocent. Please let him go, or justice for him.
They still exist. I see them on Twitter all the time.
These comments have no real
All the
sense of
time.
murder. And it's not only male murderers that are
Exit
simped
tier
for,
1
though.
chaotic
There's also the
meatball,
case of
Reset
Isabella
kitten.
Guzman, who in 2013 was the age 18 and stabbed her mother 151 times, killing her. TikTok
Holy
teens
shit.
began requesting for her freedom because 1, they just thought she was cool, and 2, people said that the only reason she killed her mom was due to being abused, though that was never proven, so people were just going off word of mouth.
Jesus
Fetishization of
Christ.
school shooters. Just like young teens simp for murderers, they also simp for school shooters. Most notably, Devin Erickson, which we actually
What?
talked about on this channel back in March.
Who the fuck is
That's
that?
exactly what you'd expect. Fan edits, comments saying he's hot, and I wouldn't doubt some asking for his freedom. Speaking of romanticizing school shooters, I remember FTP made a couple
Wait,
shirts referencing
who the fuck was that? I've never heard of that guy. He was a school shooter? Dude straight up had like cotton candy hair. I guess that's good that I have no idea that dude's name. But yeah, no, I had no clue. I've never seen that guy before in my fucking life.
I don't know who started this trend of thinking school shooters are people you should idolize, because they're not. They're shit humans that took away lives of innocent people. The surface. Faking disabilities. There was an instance
Ooh, this
last
was
week
big,
where this girl
still
on TikTok
big.
did some detective work and found out that the account at Adopted and Disabled Child was actually a guy pretending to be disabled. For what? All credit to her, because she actually found out that the quote-unquote disabled man in the video is a soccer player for a Norwegian football team. I don't know
What?
what goes on through your head to say, you know what? I should fake a disability
Holy
today
shit.
and post it on TikTok. Lopez brothers. Okay, I honestly don't want to waste my breath on these fucking idiots, so I'm gonna
I
make
don't
this
know
one
them.
really quick. Yes, they are both guilty of soliciting minors. Yes, there is proof.
She's 14. And you are how old?
Who the fuck are they? I've never heard of them.
You can end up in jail.
I do realize that.
And
Man, that video didn't really pop off. Let me take a peek. I bet they're doing just fine on TikTok. Honestly, it might even be good marketing on TikTok, so that way the little girls think they have a chance with them, I guess. Which they very well might. Tony Lopez has 23 million followers, and he's doing real well. Posted a day ago. Let's go! He rated his attractiveness. Look at this. Nice. Yeah, no, that really, man, him being outed as a pedophile apparently really, fuck, it really ruined him. Who was the other one? Andre Lopez? He probably took the brunt of it. 21 million followers. He's doing even better than his brother. Hey, look, he's doing a dance. Nice. See, that's the beauty of TikTok. No matter what you do, you can't be canceled on there. And you know why? Because kids don't care. Kids do not give a shit. These two could have literally executed a child on TikTok live stream, put a gun to his head, blew their fucking brains out, and then did a dance on their corpse. Kids would have forgiven them. Literal next day.
For some reason, little girls still love them.
Oh, even mentions it, yeah.
His TikToks would get millions of views, and I'm sure you've seen them on your For You page at some point. Well, last month, multiple minors came out explaining that Jarob had groomed
I guess
them.
Tori.
One of them, the one that got the most views, was a boy by the name of DYLG16. Joe would send him and his minor friends online BDSM tests and would ask to see their scores so
Jesus
he could see what
Christ.
their kinks were. He even offered to buy him alcohol, and if that wasn't damning enough, Jarob ended up deleting his account shortly after these allegations came out. Bro, if there's one thing I don't like, it's fucking groomers, bro. Get the fuck out of here. You're weird. You're weird. You're weird. Cartel TikTok.
To be fair, that dude probably wouldn't have recovered. I think you're probably right. The people that are fine and uncancelable on TikTok are like the dudes that are decent looking. This guy stood no chance. This guy was fucked the second he got outed as a child groomer. But yeah, the other ones are doing just fine for literally being outed by multiple people for preying on minors.
Zombie Woman is the nickname given to a woman in distress recorded from a neighbor earlier this year in May in Seattle, Washington. Now, I've tried researching what actually is the story behind this video, but there isn't really a solid story. So, I'm just gonna read you guys some popular theories. The first theory is that this woman is a victim of domestic abuse due to dyeing her hair pink and her boyfriend not liking it. Also forgot to mention that in that same theory, the boyfriend allegedly ripped her hair out due to not liking the pink. That's the most I could find for that one. The second theory
That's
is
probably
that this
not
woman
it.
is just on some type of heavy drug like bath salts. The third theory
That's
is that this
more
woman
likely.
is a victim of human trafficking and she had escaped her abuse.
That is possible.
Someone said
Man, that actually
The
does
body-
look like a fucking scene from Martyrs, if any of you guys are unfortunate enough to have watched that movie. That movie's disturbing. This actually does look like a scene from that. So this was real? This wasn't like some theater promotion thing or something? Like some kids doing high school theater? Because the cops are actually here, so I'm guessing this was a real person. Damn, that is fucking sad. Martyrs isn't that bad? Bro, that movie hits hard. That movie, like, not just like the gore shit they show. That movie, like, even its message is disturbing. The whole movie is about torturing women so they can get as close to death as possible, so hopefully they'd have an out-of-body experience and see what's on the other side. And to accomplish that, they torture the women, like, by literally, like, peeling all of their skin off, like, degloving their whole body. Like, that movie's nutty. That movie is, like, really nutty.
Holocaust challenge. Yo, I can't
Oh,
even
I remember
believe some
this
of the
one.
stuff I'm saying right
I remember
now. Like,
that one.
This is real stuff that happened on TikTok. In August of 2020, a new trend began emerging in US TikTok. In this trend, teenagers would pretend to be Jews that had died during the Holocaust.
Yeah, that one was pretty fucking crazy.
Diane Saltzman, the director.
One thing I always found pretty interesting about this is, like, what is the thought process here? Like, so they died at Auschwitz and they went to heaven, and yet they're still, like, covered in dirt and, like, hurt and stuff, even while in heaven? Like, that's gotta suck. You go to heaven in the same state you left the world. Like, if you get hit by a fucking train or something, you just go to heaven in pieces? That'd be terrible. What a horrible, like, entrance.
Is offensive to survivors
Is
and
it tier one
trivializes
macaroni
the
and
history.
cheese?
I don't know how fucking stupid you have to be to do this shit, bro. That's just weird and disrespectful. Ronnie McNutt video. In
This one,
2020,
I remember this
normal
one too.
TikToks would be posted onto the app.
Fuck,
Well,
this
that's
one
what
was
we
heavy.
thought. Until the TikTok would then cut to a clip of a man shooting himself in the head with a rifle. Well, he actually shoots himself in the face, not... Well, like we're like right here. I'm sure you guys have probably seen the video. These TikToks were disguised as your
Yeah,
average
that one was
dancing
wild.
videos.
That was a
memes,
fucked up
K-pop
trend.
fan came confirmed that the rumor of Ronnie doing this, quote, because his girlfriend broke up with him, is entirely false. He explains that Ronnie did this due to suffering from PTSD and depression.
Oh, yeah, that one was super
TikTok
sad.
beheading video. In the summer of
That
this
one was
year,
really
a
fucking
video
sad.
began- Cassie Compton. In January of 2021,
This one I remember
a
from
video
Reddit.
posted on TikTok went viral due to showing a woman sitting in the backseat of a car. People compared this woman to Cassie Compton, a 15-year-old who disappeared from her home in Stuttgart, Arkansas on September 14th of 2014. Though, these were later found out to be two completely different people. And
Oh,
the
it
woman
wasn't
in the
right?
video was confirmed by family to be Haley Grace Phillips. She had been reported missing by a family member
Oh,
who saw the
well,
video.
it was
but
right, though.
on her own account had just left home due to a falling out with her father. So,
Oh.
you know, she didn't think she was missing. She just like left home. And when asked about the black eyes, she explains that she had been jumped and robbed by two women when leaving the store. And the men in the car were friends of hers helping her track down the attackers. Many were still skeptical to if she was telling the truth or if her abusers were telling her.
So
to
Reddit was
say these
almost
things.
right,
Though we
kind
have no
of.
idea what the Austin 13. Austin Morosky was a TikToker with many followers who was accused of raping his 5-year-old sister. Yup. You heard that
Jesus
right. So basically,
Christ.
there is no hard evidence that I could find to this case. It's all just word of mouth from people that went to high school with him.
That if you happen to get in the same scenario like myself, don't beat yourself up. Let this be a lesson to my followers and whoever's watching, that words will and can affect someone's life along with the cyberbullying.
Which, by the way, is one of the worst apology videos I've seen.
What?
It's right up there with James Charles and David Dobrik. You'd expect him to be like, no, I did not my sister, or yes, guys, I did.
Holy
but
shit.
He just dodges the question. He acknowledges nothing.
What the
Lady
fuck?
Cat Killer.
Wait, what the fuck? That was actually like his response? I imagine he's doing just fine on TikTok. He probably didn't even need to do that for his TikTok followers. They don't give a fuck. What was his name? Austin13? He does not have a TikTok anymore. That's a first. Yeah, I typed it in right. The AWS. Yeah, I typed it in right. Oh, 316. Oh. Okay, hold on. No, still not. And it was Austin13. Man, fuck you guys making me think I was wrong.
On July 28th in San Antonio, Texas, this girl and her friend saw someone hanging from the railing of a drainage ditch. The 25-year-old man had just committed suicide, and instead of calling the police, well, one of the teens filmed the other one stealing his necklace. Yes, removing it from his lifeless body. To make matters even worse, they filmed it and posted it on
Full-blown
Snapchat.
Logan
I have
Paul.
no idea how stupid you have to be to film yourself committing a crime. I mean, because if you think about it, they could have gotten away with it, and I'm not condoning them getting away with it. But seriously, how stupid, like, just don't film
Holy
it? Again,
shit.
I'm not condoning what they did. Good that they got caught. I'm glad they were idiots and filmed it. When asked by the police why she stole the necklace, she says that it matched her fashion style. Honestly, I didn't.
That's
I
a
didn't
good-
expect any better
That's a
reasoning
good
from this
point,
girl.
actually.
The police,
How are they doing on TikTok? What was her name? What was it? Bethany what? Yeah, I'm sure if I type in how many people are actually fucking named Bethany in 2022, I'm sure it'll come up. Bethany 3160. I'm not falling for it twice. No, it looks like she has also been banned. Man, maybe TikTok actually does sometimes take action. Then why not for the other like predators? Yeah, it looks like she is also off. Her name was Bethany Martin.
Zachary Lathan.
Her account still exists.
Often
It's at
dubbed
50K.
The TikToker who killed his neighbor for clout.
Thank you, some
Zachary
Dell
Lathan
stars.
did just that. Eventually, the family's son and father confront Zach by going to his house, and meanwhile, Zach's wife is recording everything. Yeah, the dude had a wife at the age of 18. What the f? Anyway, Zach ends up going ape mode and stabs William in the armpit, puncturing his lung, killing him. People say this was an attempt to gain TikTok clout since the wife was recording, but I personally think it's just a man with mental and anger issues not knowing limits. Also,
Jesus.
the argument, the people came up to his side, and I'm not defending again, that kid's a fucking idiot. But yeah, rest in peace to that man. Rest in peace. Joseph Jimenez.
I'm assuming
Another
that
recent
TikTok
event from
guy's
this
in
list
jail
is
now.
this. When explaining why he did it, he says that voices were telling him that by killing both of those two teenagers, he would be saving the world. Claire
Fuck, maybe,
Miller.
Jesus Christ, maybe that Reddit commenter really was real then. Fuck me, oh my god. What? Jesus Christ. Yeah, going out in public's scary, man. What's the name of that old song from Under Oath? It's dangerous business going out of your front door or something. The shit is super true. And it really feels like more and more people are becoming unhinged. I don't know what it is, but it just really feels like more often now than when I was growing up, people are becoming significantly more on edge and dangerous. Thanks to Tier 1 Dat Boy and the resub up down. It might just be like more access to information, but goddamn, this fucking scary.
Claire Miller is a 14-year-old girl that murdered her disabled sister, Helen, that had cerebral palsy, a disorder that affects a person's posture, muscles, and balance. Claire hysterically called 911 and just admitted to murdering her sister, and when the police arrived, they noticed that she had tried washing the blood that was on her hands in the snow on the ground. So I guess there was just bloody snow everywhere. And they had found a knife
What?
inside of the older sister's neck. They are charging her for murder as an adult. She's not being
Good.
charged as a minor. She's being charged as a full adult. So she's
That's
gonna
good
get these
news.
consequences.
God damn.
Nicola Priest. This is by
I think
far
as TikTok continues to grow, pretty much every criminal ever is going to be able to be traced back to a TikTok account. So literally every criminal from this point forward, I imagine, will be able to watch TikTok videos of them doing the Doja Cat dance or some shit at some point. Because it's just everyone has one now. So literally every single murderer is also going to be a TikToker by extension. That's a pretty wild future.
So this woman from the UK named Nicola Priest would post
Thanks,
TikToks
Reset
mourning her
Innocence.
dead daughter. This woman actually murdered her own kid and then went on TikTok, post mourning her own daughter. People found this out because you can actually search her up on public records, and it says there that she murdered her kid. That's what she is. And if you go back and watch some of the videos, her account is still up, by the way. If you go back and watch some of the videos, it's so fucking creepy seeing, like, just knowing
Why?
what happened
Why is
and
her
seeing
account
that she's
still up?
acting like she didn't fucking kill her own daughter.
What? What was her name? Nicola Priest. How is she doing? No, it's down now. Okay, so it must have been up in August. It is down now. So far, almost all of them have been. I'm very surprised. Usually they're not. Why just 15 years? I have no fucking clue. I have no idea. I imagine, if I had to take a guess, I would say it's probably the UK. Let's see, in fact. Mom who killed 3-year-old for interrupting her having sex posts... What? Posts apology to her parents. And yes, she was from Solihull, England. She made a fucking YouTube apology video for killing her 3-year-old daughter. She was having sex with her boyfriend and got interrupted. And so she killed her daughter. What was the thought process? It's not like she was going to go back to getting laid after committing a murder in front of the boyfriend. Oh shit, the boyfriend is also implicated in this. The vomiting was the result of the severe beating you were both responsible for inflicting on her. No doubt you irritated by her crying, asking to be let out. It interrupted the two of you when you wanted to have sex. You lost your temper and you were joint participants in the assault. Holy shit. And they got 15 years. It's a fucking joke, man. That's a fucking joke. Yep, that should be life for both of them, I would say. And what's even wilder is she used it for clout on TikTok.
All right, yeah, that was the iceberg.
That was a lot of shit.
Let me know what you guys want to see.
There's a shart trend as well. Now that just sounds like good fun. No one's getting hurt in a shart. Damn. Yeah, that was a lot of shit I'd never even heard of. Alright, let's do the darkest TikToks part 2. Part 1 had a ton of shit I'd never even heard of before.
Confused_me too. Also, I really want this in the iceberg because I want to let you guys know to not believe everything you see on TikTok. The account only has 2 posts.
I don't
one of them
believe it.
shows
What?
someone squirming around in a garbage bag, and the other shows a river. I mean, come on, it just looks so staged. It's like some teenagers just wanted to prank the TikTok community. And also, if you
It's
were a
very
real
easy to do
murderer,
that.
First of all, you wouldn't upload it. I wanted to include this on this list on the tip because, guys, don't believe everything you see on TikTok. And imagine, like,
I'm still gonna believe everything. Because it's more fun that
suffocating
way.
flies trend and squeeze the bottom, alluding to the idea of the fly being squished to death. Most of the times they wouldn't squish the fly, at least
What a
on video,
weird
but
trend.
sometimes they would actually post it. This is a rare case where someone actually claims they made the trend. The user goes by DJSHBDBDB, and his bio read,
Hey girl, I
"Squishing
made
fly
that
at 50K.
squishing
I
fly
really started
trend
a
on
fly and
TikTok.
syringe trend now." This user has since
So we
changed
fucking at
his
my
name
place
and
or
gotten
yours?
banned due to violating community guidelines. It's really stupid when people do shit like this for clout. Like, dog, everyone kills flies, but it takes a special kind of person to
Hey,
trap a fly, put it in a syringe,
I make Tiana
start
do it.
squeezing the bottom of it, and then post it for TikTok clout.
I don't
and
feel
make
like
your
hunting
bio,
that shit down. It's such a
"Squishing fly
hassle."
at 50K. Skinwalker dog. The woman posted a TikTok of her dog opening the door from inside the bathroom. She screams, "Oh my god," as the dog looks at her and closes the door again. The comments were full of people telling her that her dog was a skinwalker. Look, if the doorknob was...
Yes. From Upper Kazuki. Yes, of course. The only man qualified to diagnose your dog with a possession. I have no doubt, too, that this kid truly believed it. They're like, oh my lord. That's our real possession. Just like in Demon Slayer.
But the owners then showed that the doorknob was one of those lever type doorknobs. So,
Yeah, my
that's
dog
how the
opens
dog
doors.
opened the door. Bolivia College Incident. The Bolivia College Incident is another one of those situations where users would just upload these shock videos onto TikTok until they get taken down. Eventually, the railing breaks and students begin falling to their deaths. It's so scary seeing this one girl about to fall
Holy
to her
shit,
death,
what?
but is pulled up by a colleague. Usually, I know about these shock videos that go around.
I've
but
never
I
heard of
had
that.
Also, to the people posting this to get clout or likes or just
Wait, what
shock
the
value.
fuck? When did that happen? I've never heard of that in my life. Well, I'm not looking it up on stream, obviously, but I've literally never heard of this ever. It happened in 2021. Damn, what overshadowed this? Like, did Dreams stream during this day or something? How is this not trending on Twitter? How far up were they? 4th floor, it says right here. It was all over Reddit. Damn, what the fuck was I doing in March of 2021? I never heard of that at all.
You're fucking weird, bro. You're a weird piece of shit. the body.
Jesus, I'm sorry, I just haven't heard of it. Jesus,
TikTok
that man came after me.
April 24th, update on cat
Appreciate
killer's
it.
identity. In part 1, we talked about the lady cat killer that would go on Omegle with the tag furry from 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. and would show off skinned and burned cats. She would also go on TikTok basically having fun that she wasn't caught. This is the internet. The cat killer was found out to be Crystal Cherica Scott, a 19-year-old
so
woman
sweet.
in Indiana who apparently sold animal crush videos on the internet. When searching her home, FBI agents recovered
give some
numerous
lane.
animal parts and skulls that were consistent of the size of cats and dogs. Agents also discovered approximately 3 live dogs, 12 live cats, and several lizards. Scott is facing up to 7 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release,
That
and
is
a
so
maximum fine of
fucking stupid.
$250,000.
That is so dumb that they are not more strict on that. It is fucking shocking. Even if, let's say you don't even like animals. Let's say you're a person that just fucking hates animals. At the very least, there is so much documentation to prove that people that harm animals or torture animals on camera for views or to sell the videos are literally the most likely to be serial killers. So even if you fucking hate animals, there is no argument where this person should ever be free again. For this long, this many tortured and killed animals on camera, there is no world where this person should be allowed back in general population. Fucking crazy. 7 years maximum with 3 years of supervised release. Good lord.
Foreigner challenge. So this was a trend that started in April of 2020, where people would post compilations
so
of little
infuriating,
fan edits
man.
of themselves, basically, with Pop Smoke's song Foreigner playing in the background. Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. You cannot say pop and forget the smoke. Except the people in these edits would put their into these edits.
Yeah, exactly. The animal harm is often a precursor to murder. Like almost every single murderer, like Richard Kuklinski, the Iceman, claimed to have killed over 200 people when he was working as a hitman for the mafia. Jeffrey Dahmer, I believe, also in that group. Ed Gein, pretty much everyone. Ted Bundy, I think, as well. Pretty much everyone you can think of all started with killing animals. Like just like torturing animals as a kid in their home or finding strays and beating them to death. They all started there. And yet still the law doesn't seem to take it seriously. Crazy. No, I don't think I've ever heard that one, Goblin.
In May of this year, an account on TikTok began gaining traction called Puberty Helper 101. The goal of this page was to help little girls go through puberty and deal with the changes their bodies were going through. But eventually, people found out that the owner behind the account was a grown man. It was even more disturbing when the account posted
about right.
this. Hey guys, I'm going to pick 3 of you randomly and DM you and give you my phone number to help you and talk you through anything you need. If any of you would find this helpful, write in the comments and maybe I'll pick you up. What the fuck? This TikTok account
Thanks,
was banned
Austin
shortly after
Jones,
the
I
TikTok
guess.
community found out it existed.
Who ran that account? EDP? Like,
Blackout
goddamn.
Challenge. In April
What
of
the
this year,
fuck?
a 1444 video. The 1444 video is another video that would circulate around
Here's the
TikTok,
bitch
just like the
username.
Bonnie McNutt video and
Yeah, I heard
the
it's out.
Bolivia college incident. This 2019 video showed a teenage Russian boy sitting on his couch saying a quote and then shooting himself in the head with a semi-automatic rifle. Before he commits, he says a quote, and that quote translates to Nikita. How does the saying go? Neon Polka. Neon Polka is a reference to another Russian person that also committed. And that person actually laid on train tracks and was, I don't even know how I could say
Holy
that. But her
shit.
head came off on the train tracks, and her last post on social media said Neon Polka, and it became like a meme in Russia, I guess. So you say that before you commit.
What a
Yeah, to make
fucking
matters even worse, Gleb's
awful
weapon
way to
manually
go
removed.
out. I don't know why that reminded me of something. Do you guys remember the hot coil challenge? That was back with the Tide Pod eating shit. There was a dude who threw his arm onto like a hot coil on his stove for the hot coil challenge. Anyone know whatever happened to that guy? And then he just like burnt the shit out of his arm, like probably a permanent branding. And then he was about to do it again before his friend stopped him. It never caught on or anything. But I was just wondering, does anyone have a follow-up to that? He's got nice scars. No, he's got stupid scars because it was literally just a hot coil. So his scar is just going to look like a pile of dog shit on his arm. It's not even like a cool scar or anything. London resub zombie. I guess no one knows what happened to the guy.
These 2 teenagers ended up murdering Sierra's father due to him not approving of them being together. The creepy part is that they posted this TikTok acting like it was a normal thing to do.
I don't know what to say. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. After
Day
murdering, day 3 after murdering somebody.
Wow!
Whoa, what a way to start a vlog.
The
Hey,
father had been
hey,
stabbed to
whoa.
death and his body was set
Jesus.
on fire. His body was found in his own garage. The teens have been
Vandara,
charged with
Risa
murder,
Casca.
but haven't entered a plea. If convicted, Guerrero could face the death penalty. Because she is a minor, Sierra faces life in prison.
Oh, that's good at
CP
least.
slash
I can't imagine there's too much more that he hasn't covered because he's doing really broad topics instead of like specific instances, or at least in this that he did. So yeah, we can finish it.
Joining me today is the amazing True
Danny
Crime
oh,
Cam.
I
You
thought it was
guys
gonna
may
be
have
Danny
seen her
DeVito.
TikToks on your For You page. Plaque, that's so amazing. When we started this series, I was at 85,000. Now we're nearing 200,000.
Isn't he close to like
subscribers. So thank you guys
500K
so
now?
much for sticking
Oh,
around.
he's over.
with me, and
God
make sure to
damn, he's
grab a
popping
drink,
off.
Grab a snack. Let's get started with the video.
Jesus. I feel like he was at
Jonathan G.
500K like
Now,
a day
Jonathan
ago,
G
or whenever we watched the
is
first part.
Jonathan G. You guys most likely have heard of this, but let's keep talking about it. Jonathan G was a TikTok account that appeared
No, I
in
have no idea who
2020,
this is.
but the original account has since been banned. To understand exactly who and what Jonathan G is,
Looks
first
familiar, though.
we have to go back to 2016 and inform ourselves about the Blue Whale Challenge. It is believed that Rina Palenkova was the first victim of this horrible game. We spoke briefly about her in part 2. This
I
happened again in
doubt
2019 with the infamous Momo picture, which I can't show or else this video would get demonetized. Where was the first sighting? Apparently, the first sighting of any of these accounts was on TikTok, going under the username @Jonathan.
I remember the
54.
Momo thing.
Eventually, if you're wondering how these anonymous people were able to convince these young teens into doing these
They-
horrible
I
actions,
don't think they
it's because they
did.
would threaten to dox, which means find your address, kill your entire family, and do other disgusting things. All the other versions of it have resulted in a lot of kids committing.
Well,
read this one about
I
the-
don't think so. If I remember correctly, I haven't done research on this, but I do remember that Momo thing. I don't remember Goofy, whatever that is. I remember that guy's face, but I don't remember that being anything like further than that. But the whole Momo thing was all just a complete hoax. It was all completely fake. No one actually like hurt themselves or anything like that. I don't even know what I type in to find it. Momo related deaths, maybe? Yeah, the Momo challenge hoax. I don't think there was an actual case of somebody, you know, killing themselves from it. Who Momo is? I don't know why you asked that so awfully, but it's this thing. It's a picture from some old horror skit or something. This thing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure no one ever actually hurt themselves. It was just people making it up, and then places like Mirror ran with it. So like, here's Mirror's headline: Momo challenge victims revealed, kids as young as 12 killed by twisted craze. But I don't think any of it was ever actually real. I'd have to look more into it, but yeah, I do remember it all being outed as like all those stories that were reported weren't actually true.
And that
Okay, people keep saying blue whale. I don't even know what that is. That is foreign to me. I know blue waffle. I've never heard of blue whale before, so I don't even know what to look up here. Blue whale death? Well, I just got videos of blue whales dying. Okay, so probably not. What do I look up? Blue whale challenge? The piece. So there was initially an article that came out linking multiple children's suicides to the blue whale challenge, and then it is critiqued by saying the piece was later criticized for attempting to make a casual link where none existed. None of the suicides were found to be a direct result of the group activities. Claims of suicides connected to the game have been reported worldwide, but none have been confirmed. That's what he's talking about. Well, I know, I'm just saying, like, I've never heard of the blue whale one, but none of this was ever, like, actually confirmed, ever.
John told Mashable this in an email referring to his business. Quote, "These pieces are not decoration. They are teaching tools and serve a very important purpose." This is a very hypocritical statement considering John has dressed up these human remains and let his cats play with them like toys.
Oh. I was gonna say, like, that's a pretty reasonable response.
How to tell. We drove to buy a real human skeleton. The thing about the question of where do I get them from?
I bet the people would be
I would,
happy to
like,
see their bones
thoroughly
being so
explain it.
enjoyed.
It doesn't matter to like 99% of you.
I first want to point out that John is not an osteologist, which is a trained professional who critically analyzes
What is
and
he- how does he get
evaluates
the
remains
bones?
to determine. John buys his remains from old medical collections or bone traffickers, then sells them back to the
Bone
public under the guise
traffickers?
of making the study of bones and human anatomy accessible. Anyone could buy these human remains and do whatever they want with them. You could close out this YouTube video right now and go buy some human bones. That is
Give me just 1 second. Is that true? I had no idea. I know you can buy like for like I remember in college some classes had human bones to teach. I didn't realize that was just something I get on Amazon. Let me see. Bone trafficking. Looted skulls and human remains are being sold in the black market. And do I get to know whose bones they were? Like, do I get like a picture of what they looked like before death? And it's like, hey, it's belonged to fucking Paul Cheeseburger. These are his bones. They're like an NFT. I mean, unironically, you get more value out of human bones than an NFT. Yeah, this guy seems like a real maniac.
At one point, John listed for sale the skull of a Sami person. The description of the skull also included a slur in reference to the group. Quote, Black, Indigenous, and other ethnic bodies are not props for art. They are not objects to be pillaged and dissected by anyone. They are not exhibitions.
So is that what John was doing? Was he personally going and exhuming these graves?
And we shouldn't be okay with the private trade
or he just had his mom and dad's credit
card
and bought
people have no
bones.
ethical right to procure in an industry built on racism and violence. The killer that TikTok users found and caught. So, on February 23rd of this year, Daisy De La O was fatally stabbed outside of her family's California home by her ex-boyfriend, 25-year-old Victor Sosa.
Tier 1
Victor was a suspect
Asian
immediately after her death, but he had already fled the country. They posted videos and images of Daisy, shared her story, as well as images of Victor calling for people to share and find him. They used the hashtag #JusticeForDaisy. Luckily, the videos landed on the right For You pages, and tips started rushing in. Victor
should have just
Sosa
asked
had been
4chan.
spotted working. The person who sent this tip in said that Victor had been working at this bar for weeks and was living his best life like nothing ever happened. Susanna wants justice for her daughter and hopes by telling Daisy's story that other young women will find the strength to lead these abusive relationships. If you or someone
TikTok
you know is suffering in an abusive relationship, go to www.thehotline.org.
I feel like TikTok would actually be a really good tool for something like that.
Challenge.
Just
In
because everyone has
a new
TikTok.
trend surfaced on TikTok. That being
Like, look at
Benadryl
EDP,
challenge.
for example. EDP literally can't exist in even like a parking lot in bumblefuck nowhere without someone videotaping him for TikTok. That man can't go anywhere. So actually, maybe using TikTok as a resource for catching people would be pretty effective just because there is so many people on TikTok.
The TikTok challenge that dares people to
Prime
strangle
Ryan.
themselves and escape. This challenge has been referred to as the Blackout,
Blackout
challenge,
Challenge.
the game of choking, and
just did this
speed
one.
dreaming. Even though this is public information, because this
Speed
child is so
dreaming?
young, I found out there was some type of video on TikTok letting kids know how to strangle yourself. But he's 7 years old, so how is he going to get out of it? A spokesperson from TikTok has since said that the challenge has been banned from the platform. Junior's family encouraged parents to block various social media sites and educate themselves about what could be lurking behind their kid's screen. The effect of
as a
TikTok's
parent, you have to know
Blackout
TikTok's not
Challenge
going to be
far
great for
beyond
them.
the United States. In
Shit's
January
trash.
of this year, and this really begs the question, what dangerous TikTok challenge is going to trend next? And is TikTok even going to stop it in time, or is it
No.
going to take the lives of more kids?
Yes.
Zombie woman is.
You want to know
not
how you
Marilyn
solve it? Unironically, YouTube had the solution. You have YouTube Kids, where you literally can't have anything but shit for kids. Then you have normal YouTube. And then they fucked it by just still allowing kids on normal YouTube anyway. So that's how you solve it. You have TikTok for kids, and you have a TikTok that kids cannot access. And the two never collide. That's how you also get rid of all your child predators. Easy. But then again, it's hard to well, you wouldn't know people's ages on TikTok for kids, I guess. I don't know how you'd enforce it. Right? We're prototyping right now in the lab. I'm still coming up with the solutions. Require an ID to sign up? Yeah, but kids don't have an ID. What are they gonna give me? Their fucking Roblox username? Yeah, it'd be tough. How would you enforce it? A biometric scan? I don't know what the fuck you'd do. Social Security? That'd be good, because that solves two problems. Not many people want to give up their Social Security number, so then TikTok dies, and that's a net positive overall, too. So, yeah, I mean, I guess you could do SSN.
In part 1, we spoke about a woman in Seattle, Washington who was clearly in distress. Many of you were telling me in the comments that the woman in the video is a woman by the name of Marilyn Stanley. At first, I thought so too, but after more research, these two cases are actually completely separate. These are not the same people. The story goes that this woman was in an abusive relationship with her then boyfriend, named Zachary. Throughout the relationship, he would beat her, and she didn't leave because he threatened to kill her if she tried. Eventually, she was over at his house, and out of nowhere, he punched her repeatedly in the face. He dragged her to his bedroom and continued beating her. Then his pit bull came and bit half of Marilyn's ear off. She blacked out and woke up to Zachary smirking, and he said, "Look at you. You're bald. Now nobody's gonna want you. Go look at yourself
Jesus
in the mirror."
Christ.
She described, and Zachary, he ended up blaming the scalping on his dog, but detectives were able to find out that the
Was his
knife
dog
he
a
used
barber?
had scalp on it. This idiot ended up getting 20 years in prison, which, bro, honestly, I think we can all agree he deserves a lot more. And sadly, Marilyn has to wear wigs now since she cannot grow hair at the top of her head anymore.
God damn.
TikTok
That's
helped
fucking
identify
intense.
an Appalachian Trail killer.
Because that
On
video
April
looked like it
29th,
was like
2019,
makeup or
TikTok
something.
user
I thought it was like
Taylor,
from like a
aka
horror
at
set.
Flowers Don't Growl,
Holy
went
shit.
camping. The man must have been scared by the police lights because
It
he
sounds
just
super
eventually
fake.
wandered off and faded into the darkness. An officer accompanied them back to their campsite so they could gather their belongings and get the heck out of there. And Taylor learned not only the
Prime R,
identity of the
never
man,
said Gam.
but the fact that he had killed someone just 2 weeks after they'd crossed paths. Ronald made it to Southwest Virginia. This is where Ronald ran into the man that attempted to murder Taylor and Chris, who was later identified as
Does he just
James
live
L.
there?
Jordan. A Canadian woman nearby was also stabbed and managed to survive by playing dead. She then ran back to meet the other hikers and made a
such a
6-mile trek
risky
to
maneuver.
safety with them. In April of 2021, James Jordan was found not guilty by reason of insanity.
Devious lick trend. The devious
What? I actually just read something the other day that when you plead insanity, it's actually worse for you. I was reading that like if you plead insane, it is significantly worse than you're just confined to a mental institution for like your entire life with no chance of parole or anything or some shit like that. Yeah, so he's not free. He's still in federal custody. That's what I just wanted to say. Though there is that, we even went over this on stream a while back. Do you guys remember, I think it was in Canada, there was that guy on a bus who out of nowhere grabbed a knife and stabbed a passenger. I think he ripped his head off, like cut his head off, and ate his eyeballs while everyone else on the bus watched. Because they got off the bus, he just out of nowhere started stabbing some random passenger. They all got off the bus, and he just sat there in the bus and ate the dude's eyeball. That guy only spent, I think it was 5 years in jail, and then was let go. He's completely free, he changed his name, and now he works a normal job. He's just back in general pop. No, it wasn't drugs, it wasn't anything like that. He pleaded insanity, and I guess after 5 years they said he was good. No, that's real. What the fuck was his name? We're kind of going back in time because we already did this, but let me look it up again. Vince Lee. Oh, the man formerly known as Vince Lee. Vince Lee was found not criminally responsible in the killing of Tim McLean. Bro, I don't know who he hired in court. He must have got Saul fucking Goodman. He was found not criminally responsible for the beheading and consumption of Tim McLean. So he was discharged in 2017 and changed his name, and he's back to business as usual. Fucking wild. He spent 7 years, though. It was 7 years, not 5. God damn. Wasn't drugs. Apparently, they said that he had untreated schizophrenia. That's what his legal defense said. Whether or not that's true, I mean, that's up to whatever you want to believe. But after spending 7 years institutionalized, they deemed him safe to be put back into like general pop. So he went to independent living. From independent living, he changed his name and now he's just full-blown like back to being a citizen. Though even the people that discharged him have said, I'm concerned about a relapse. So, the man ate someone. Yeah. Not only did he eat someone, he ate like the worst part of someone. He ate a fucking eyeball. You know, like, push comes to shove, you and me, we're trapped on like a mountaintop, we're running out of food. The first thing I'm eating from you is not going to be your eyeball. I'd start with something that looks a little familiar, like maybe like your leg or something, like nibble on your calf. I would not start with an eyeball.
TikTok user Frey Todoroki. A Brazilian TikToker who goes by Freya conspired with 2 friends to kill a girl. 19-year-old Raíssa Borges wanted to know if she was a psychopath. To test this theory, she conspired with 18-year-old Freya and 22-year-old Jefferson to kill a petite person
Jesus
that couldn't fight
Christ.
back. 18-year-old
That was
Ariane Laureano
that's
de
what they
Oliveira.
decided to test
On August 24th,
their
the group
psychopath
invited
nature
Ariane
with.
into the woods to hang out. Hyessa then started to strangle Ariane, but ultimately couldn't kill her alone. That's when Freya and Jefferson joined in. As Ariane passed
Jesus
out, they stabbed her
Christ.
3 times to make sure that she was gone. On September 16th, authorities arrested Hyessa, Freya, and Jefferson, and this case is still ongoing.
Hopefully it ends with
If you guys
life in
enjoyed the
prison.
video, make sure to leave a like. And if you're not subscribed,
If you want to know if
please,
you're a
I'm gonna ask
psychopath,
for
just
your
do what normal
subscription
people do.
if you
See
enjoyed
if you
the
like
video.
Overwatch.
Also,
that was good though. Those were good icebergs. I had heard of a decent bit of them, but not a ton. Especially not that last one. I feel like that one would have been bigger news. Maybe it was and I missed it. Because apparently I missed quite a few big ones. The only thing I know about Kik is when Tinder was first becoming a thing, there was a ton of Kik bots where you'd match with them, and the first thing they do is like, hey, you want to see me spread my pussy? Check me out on Kik. But obviously everyone knows that it's a scam and a bot, so I never knew anyone that actually went to it. And that's all I know about Kik. So from what I understand, it's supposed to just be like a messenger app, right? So is it like WhatsApp? Do we have any like Kik enthusiasts in here? It's for grooming and catfishing. Seems like a pretty risky business model. Like officially, that's what they target? Man, no one has anything nice to say about Kik. Why does it exist? What the fuck? This is all horrible. This all sounds miserable. Jesus Christ. Ooh, it's like a full-blown movie here from Tuv. Unfriended on
hey
Kik.
guys, welcome back to
Lay it out for me. I don't know
So
shit
I don't know
about
about
it.
y'all, but Kik Messenger ran my middle school in 2013 to 2016. If you thought a girl was cute, your first word should have been, hey, yo, what's your Kik? Or add me on Kik.
Man,
Keep
what
in
the
mind,
fuck?
this was before Kik Messenger was created on October 19th,
You're so goof
2010.
and
And it
fluffy.
was and still is a mobile messaging app available on the App Store and Google Play Store. In September 2019, Kik CEO and founder Ted Livingston announced in a blog post that Kik Messenger
Ted.
would be shut down with over 100 employees being laid off. However, this decision was later reversed, and it was that same month Media Lab acquired Kik. Like I was saying, Kik was so goated back in the day. But nowadays, if you talk to anyone about Kik, first of all, they're gonna laugh at you. But also,
When was Kik founded? Was it like just after my time? Because I never heard of Kik until Tinder because of scams. Oh, did he say 2010? I didn't even hear that. Sorry. I guess I got too hyper focused on it. Yeah, I missed that whole wave, man. But what about Yik Yak? Do we have any old Yik Yak fans? Yik Yak ran my campus for like 2 semesters, or 2 years probably, before it got banned. Yik Yak was like a local chat app. So at my college, everyone would go on there and just post house party addresses.
the whores. The horrors, guys, not the whores. The horrors. So just like the Discord video, we spoke about the dangers
why
on
not
a
both?
specific app. It ranged from groomers to doxers. However, like I was saying, this app is not mainstream anymore. Since this app is so under the radar, this is abusers' favorite app. It's very cool, right? So as you can see, we have like Fortnite, for example. We have Naruto.
Let's go to the Naruto one.
Just things kids like. But if you click any of those topics, by the way, this is right when you download the app, they're all overrun by sex and porn group chats. People bypass this by using the host word at the beginning and then simply adding filler to the rest. Joining them will cause a bunch of sex bots to message you and send you scam links. Some keywords such as child or anything inappropriate will result in nothing. Kik blacklisted those words.
This is exactly what I thought
like they're
Kik was.
protecting the kids, right? No, let's keep talking. And they told me that a popular method abusers use on this app is by looking up sad or depression group chats and will prey on children that are looking for someone to talk to, aka a shoulder to lean on. You could apply that to any case, but I just didn't know. I don't know, man. If I didn't know that, I feel like other people don't know that, and I just want to make you guys aware of that. That's a method abusers will use. These abusers will look up depression chat or LGBT chat simply to prey on vulnerable minors. And this is a huge problem on the app. There are articles and articles.
The big problem is anyone downloading the app, it sounds like.
Put into place.
Sounds like just downloading the app should flag the
Talks
FBI.
about CP. Yeah, the live section is extremely sexual and revolves around girls getting money from simps, or guys too. I even joined and asked if you can make a living on the app like one would on Twitch.
How does the donating system work? What is the... So that is, if you would like to donate and tip your streamer guy, you hit that gift box at the bottom. The wheels, it's hard to know what they are, but they like spin like this, and they're mystery wheels. It says mystery. And then you could hit a bonus.
Nice. Let's
I don't get it.
go.
Like,
Because he's like, I'm waiting. Let's
I
see
don't
what you
get
got
it.
to
Can
say.
you dig in and
Tuv,
tell me a little
come on.
more? Whoop, there it goes.
She saw me in the nudie.
Sarah and I saw each other talk.
Give her the give her the dragon.
Changing into our panties and bras. Can people make living off of going live on Kik? Sure, guy, if you're cool enough. If you suck, then no. I mean, maybe if you suck, you could. If you know what I mean.
The live section is definitely not for kids. I mean, the
Hey,
entire
what are you
app
talking
isn't
about? That
for
was good.
kids.
That was
It
high
looks like a
quality
sex
stuff.
app. So now let's head on over to
are you
Kik's
talking about?
contradictions. The worst thing about the app
Fuck
is
it,
the
I'm signing
intended demographic. From
That
everything
looks
I've
like
just
great
told
live
you,
streams.
you'd expect this to be an 18+ sex app, right? No. The minimum age to use Kik is 13 years old. And this is a document taken from their website, Kik.com. Want to know the name of the document? Kik's Guide for Parents. Yes. That's probably going to be their excuse. They're probably going to be like, well, actually, we always tell the kids to get their parents to give them permission first. It's like, no.
To be
The fact that they
fair,
have a
and not to defend Kik, it is absolutely a parent's responsibility to monitor what their kids download and engage on the internet. I am so tired of companies, or not companies, parents blaming companies. The parents have a fucking responsibility to actually be a parent. It's not up to the internet to raise the kids. Now, this obviously shouldn't be accessible to kids in the first place. Like, this is just like a dog shit degenerate app. But I'm speaking on the whole. Fucking parents don't do shit anymore and blame everyone but themselves when, like, oh my god, my kid was... He left YouTube Kids app, and instead of getting Finger Family, he watched Ludwig talk about why he's not his friend. And now all of a sudden my kid's crying, and I'm fucking pissed at Ludwig, and YouTube ruined everything. You know, it's like, do some parenting. It makes me so frustrated. That is one of, like, my biggest pet peeves. Thanks for the gift sub, Jinx, and the resub Croven. It's been like that for the last, like, 3 years, I'd say. It's gotten really bad. Especially on YouTube, where they keep having to, like, pressure YouTube, like, YouTube fucking hates kids. YouTube ruins kids' lives. When it's like, you just let your kids go on YouTube completely unmonitored. And then they found a Nexpo video on a morbid topic or something. Like, it's your fault. You suck.
If you see this video, or if people are outraged by this or some shit, either remove all the sexual content from the app, clean up the hashtags and sex bots, or simply make the app 18+ everywhere.
True,
Stop
it should
with the
just be an
parents'
18+
guides to
app.
Kik. Like, no, this
That'd
is a
solve
sex
it.
app. It is clearly a sex app. Look at this. Do you guys see this?
No, I can't.
13+, right?
I can't see it. Just paint a picture. Is it goatsy?
Chatting with single
Blue
guys,
waffle?
21. Oh my god. You will see explicit photos. Please be discreet. What is that an IP address? What did you just send me? And you know, it's so weird.
Don't
that
click
they use
it.
the same profile picture. Dude, I mean,
Thanks,
literally.
Prime Baka.
Think about it. A kid downloads this app, right? Ooh, Pokemon. Let's go to Pokemon. There are nudes right there. There are nudes right there on the app, right? It's horrible.
How
because
cool
the
is
fact
that,
they have
right?
A guide for the
You get
parents, parents
Pokemon
in their right mind would let
and
their kid use
tits.
Kik. And some group chats actually do help people. Like I was saying, there are depression chats where people do help each other, but it's like such a gem to
Just
find
go
an actual
somewhere
group
else.
chat with humans.
Why stay on
Or at
Kik?
least decent
Just go
humans.
to
There's no
Discord.
point in downloading the app or depending on the
Fucking
app.
Skype.
Kik
I don't know,
creators, if you're
man.
watching
Why
this,
stay there?
Please fix your app. Please fix the ratings. Do something about it. And I'll see you guys next time I upload.
Bye, Tuv. Nice. Well, that was interesting. I can't believe Kik Messenger is still alive. I really can't. Discord with Discord mod and admins. Yeah, but the thing is, on Discord, you can still just take those people from Kik, like that are human beings, and just make your own Discord. It's not like you're gonna interact with the moderators. You can just talk to them on there, right? Like you don't have to actually interact with like a Discord mod and Wumpus and Springle. I mean, God rest their soul, they've been retired now, but you know, you don't have to actually interact with them at all. Whereas on Kik, you're still being blasted with sex bots.
Website was created by Craig Newmark in 1995.
Holy shit, wait,
as
that's
an
the
email-
Craig? That's Mr. List himself? I've never looked up the history of Craigslist. I thought it was just like a random name they pulled out, because Craig is super standard, like very generic NPC kind of shit. Nice.
But you'd be
Has
surprised
it?
to know that in 2018,
I didn't know that.
the website had at least 60 million monthly users in the US alone. So with all these people interacting on the site, it's no doubt that some horrible ones slipped through the cracks. Welcome to the dangerous world of Craigslist criminals. Philip Markoff.
What?
Philip
Wait, what is that? Wasn't there a guy who put his nudes in a desk he sold on Craigslist? That's fucking big brain. I mean, maybe. Probably, I guess. I don't know if he did it on purpose, man. He was just selling his desk and probably just forgot about his dick pics, man. Was that like a big story or something? I could absolutely imagine that happening. It shit probably happens at garage sales all the time.
Though if we know anything about murderers, it's that they look average. He was a big
Not
6'3"
always.
white male that was
Sometimes
known by
they
his
look
friends for
exactly
being a
like what
goofy,
you'd think
smart
they would.
guy. Not only was he goofy, but he was incredibly smart when it came to schooling, as he was in the National Honor Society. Though he wasn't as smart when it came to hiding evidence. Let me explain.
Hey, fun
This
fact,
man would
I was
go on
also in the National
Craigslist,
Honor
go under
Society.
the erotic
Just
services
saying.
section, set up dates with
But I
girls
don't really
who were
use Craigslist.
advertising themselves in the Boston area, escorts, and rob them at gunpoint. Though one sadly ended up being killed, which
There's a
was
Prime
Weston
Silver,
Copley
recent
Place.
Cairo.
Once he entered, he pointed a pistol at her, handcuffed her with zip ties, and robbed her. Keep in mind, this dumbass wasn't wearing a mask. Not only that, but he was wearing black gloves to cover his fingerprints, but was persistent on removing his phone number from Trisha's phone, and I guess the gloves are too thick so he couldn't really type, so he removed the gloves to type, and the fingerprints were on the phone. It's like, you dumb mother... He then tied her to the doorknob from
All
the
right.
inside, taped her mouth shut
What a
while leaving
strat.
fingerprints on the roll of tape. He also took a knife out of his pocket and cut the hotel phone lines. He stole $800 in cash and her credit cards. He also picked up some of her underwear that was on the floor, put it in his pocket, and left. 4 days later,
Oh, a little car
April 14th,
freshener.
2009,
Huffing
Julissa
the fumes.
Brisman, age 25, became Markoff's second victim. She was an aspiring model from New York City and was described as an extremely happy party girl who liked having fun. Just like Trisha, she also advertised herself in the erotic services section on Craigslist. Police believe that he immediately pulled the gun on her once he entered the room, got at least one plastic tie on her wrist, she fought back, and things escalated quickly. He pistol whipped her on the head and then shot her 4 times. Police say he
Jesus
didn't have to kill her.
Christ.
She had no weapons. Getting caught. One of Julissa's
Thanks
friends
for
found
5 new
the
subs,
emails
Rochi.
that Philip
Thank you,
and
man.
Julissa
New
had
subs,
exchanged and
sarcasms.
contacted authorities, explaining that she had his IP address. Detectives traced the IP to an apartment belonging to Philip Markoff, a 23-year-old med student at Boston University. He had a fiance at the time who knew nothing about what he was up to on Craigslist. He was arrested shortly after. During trial, he pleaded not guilty, which was dumb because detectives found the gun he used to murder Julissa in his room with his fingerprints on it. His trial was extended,
circumstantial
and in the meantime
evidence.
was in prison. On August 15, 2010, 1 year and 1 day after his wedding would have taken place, Markoff was found dead in his cell. He had used a knife made from a pen and a piece of metal to cut arteries in his ankles, legs, and neck. He had also
Jesus,
swallowed toilet paper
goddamn.
and tied in a plastic bag over his head with gauze. Additionally,
This dude
he had
did
written his
8
former
different
fiance's
suicides.
name and their pet. This dude killed himself in the jail, which would have been a happy ending, but sadly he had to kill a girl, right? Let's move on to the next one.
God damn. So that's like 8 different ways of killing himself. My God, he used every ounce of that med student knowledge. Jesus. How long ago was that? What year did he say? I imagine this had to be during like the height of Craigslist. Because I remember like they're all 2009. Is that what it was? Okay. I remember back in, God, it must have been high school. When was the big Craigslist killer that got a lot of press? I think it was high school for me. And when that happened, everyone was like, yeah, it sounds about right for Craigslist. Do people still use it for services and shit? Like, do people still advertise this kind of shit on there? Because like I said, I haven't used it in a while. Yeah, they do? God, that's got to be the riskiest shit ever. Why? Bro, just fucking like pass out flyers at a gas station or something. You're a lot better off. Because even in high school, all of us were like, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what you'd expect from Craigslist services. Just a bunch of fucking psychopaths. I don't know why you would trust that. It's terrible. It's scary. I use it for cars. Well, yeah, you can buy shit from Craigslist, man. I don't think you're gonna run into a guy who's gonna, like, fuck your shit up over a beat-up bug or anything. Like, you could probably buy cars if you want. I'm talking about the services category.
Anne-Marie Linscott. In November 2007,
Why does that name
three
sound so
California
familiar?
residents were searching Craigslist for job opportunities. During the email exchange, Linscott, who was a Michigan resident, asked each of the three individuals responding to her advertisement to quote-unquote eradicate a woman living in Oroville, California.
What the
Yes,
fuck?
she put up a hitman ad on Craigslist. She provided
What a
additional information on the
big
intended
word for
victim
that,
to include a
eradicate.
description of the victim,
That's not just
her
like
age,
kill
and her
or
employment address. Linscott
beat.
offered a hefty payment
That's
upon completion
big.
of the quote-unquote. In April of 2007, things began getting extremely scary. A Molotov cocktail with a fuse was found under the bed of the man's wife, named Carol. Thankfully,
What
it didn't
the
go off. Then the
fuck?
Craigslist ad we were talking about was
A
made. She was
Molotov
looking for,
cocktail
quote-unquote,
time
silent
bomb?
assassins to eradicate a 56-year-old woman from Oroville named Carol. The price? $5,000. An extremely popular public website. Anne-Marie, you should watch these videos right here in case you really want to hire a hitman. I made videos talking about it. That was a joke.
True, he does
You
give,
also
like,
go watch
tutorials,
those
I
videos
guess.
And also watch The Dangerous World of 4chan Criminals. So those three people that engaged in the
As you
ad
said,
called the
Pika
authorities,
and
and then the
Kopi.
authorities got the FBI involved. Anne-Marie Linscott was sentenced to 151 months in prison, aka 12 and a half years. That means she was released last year in 2021. So
Wow.
Anne-Marie, if you're watching this, let me tell you right now, Craigslist isn't the way to go. It's not really what the cool kids use anymore. If you want to get on a website that everyone uses to hire hitmen, then go to tuvmerch.creator-spring.com.
Oh, what a
When you buy merch
plug.
from that website, like, you get hitmen like Brown. Jason Brown was a 25-year-old man in 2014
There's
and
the
would
prime.
find thrill out of adopting
Mr.
dogs that were
and they
looking
give
for
sub
homes
Hunter.
and torturing them until death. I won't be getting into details on how
Jesus
exactly
Christ.
he tortured, recorded everything. The recordings were only seen by the judge, the lawyers, and a detective. But in the video, Brown could be heard saying that this was his house of pain, and he wanted to turn them into a fur coat. Brown is heard saying in one of the recordings that he found dogs through Craigslist and looked for, quote, pets free on the ads.
Aw.
So he would just go on the search term, just claim that he couldn't remember committing the acts because he was injecting heroin, methamphetamine, and cocaine during more than a 2-month-long binge. The recordings were taken by Brown as well as
Oh,
two
then he
friends
can't
who
be held accountable.
Jason Brown was sentenced to 28 years in prison.
Hey,
And
fuck
I know
yeah.
what you guys just said. You said, that's it? Yeah, I know, right? I don't know either. This fucker deserves life in prison.
That's so much
Angela-
more than I thought it would be. Usually animal crimes are like days in prison. So that's huge. Like, that's big in that world. Typically, like, we watched the video not long ago. Well, a better example, the YouTube cat killer, the guy that murdered cats on video and used to just post them freely on YouTube. That guy only saw jail for like a day. I don't even know if he saw jail. I'm just assuming because I don't remember now. But like, that shit does not carry hefty sentences usually. So at least that guy got a fat one. I still haven't seen Don't Fuck With Cats. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the YouTuber. I even made a video on him like a year or whatever ago. I forgot his name. Pollution, I think. Yeah, that's what. Pollution. That kid, like, he wasn't in jail for any length of time at all. Luke Magnotta? Luke Magnotta started as an animal killer and then didn't he murder a human being? I always think that someone that's like murdering and decapitating and bathing in the blood of animals and whatever always deserves heftier penalties in prison because there's such a strong correlation with that behavior and becoming a real serial killer. So like someone like Pollution Entertainment, that guy should still be in jail for a long time. Luke Magnotta got his victim from Craigslist as well. Jesus Christ, really?
Going to be visiting the dark web version of the Internet Strange's websites. This is the final and technically fourth part
Let's
of the
go,
series, so I made
dark
a playlist you
web.
can check out at the top right of the screen if you want to
I've
watch all the
seen that
episodes.
movie.
For my safety and
Unfriended.
yours, I will not be sharing the links. Go watch the other parts of this series. Anyway, in case you guys don't know about the dark web, you can only access it using Tor web
Tor.
browser, not Google Chrome, not Firefox, not Internet Explorer. I don't know why you would use that anyway. This allows you to go into
Well, it's not called
websites that
Internet
you
Explorer
would
now,
not
it's
onion.
Edge.
The websites usually consist of random numbers. In the last video, we covered the basics, and this time I just decided to
Tor
keep
was
clicking
made by the
and
CIA.
and clicking and clicking. So what you
Is that true? I remember that rumor floating around back when I was learning what the dark and deep web and shit was. Was Tor actually made by the CIA? It was made by the Navy. Oh, there's like a fucking civil war in the chat. Was it the Navy or the CIA? On Tuesday, the CIA announced its own Tor Onion service. So the CIA, I guess, is getting into the dark web space. What are they, like, releasing dark web NFTs? I don't know. This is a weird announcement from 2019. The United States Naval Research Laboratory. I'm assuming it's just the first thing that popped up. Yeah, it looks like it was the Navy. So besides like arms purchasing and like illegal shit, what is the point of the dark web? Like I can't imagine people are accessing the dark web going through Tor to look up like video game walkthroughs. That seems like there's no way that happens on the dark web. Who's going on the dark web like, bruh, I'm really looking to buy some crocodile. Oh, someone's selling. All right, here's my credit card info. No one's typing that shit in on the dark web. No fucking chance. No one's dumb enough to do that, right? College kids? Nah, I don't believe that for even a second. Nobody would. They're absolutely using like Monero or some kind of crypto or something. They're not going to be using like their actual just fucking Visa card.
Revenge. Now you might be saying, we already covered revenge in the last video. Yes, but those websites were taken down. Won't be sharing the name of the website, but I'll show you guys the layout. So right out of the gate, you're given a list of female names to browse through. If you click on a name...
This used to exist on the surface web for what it's worth. Tuv even covered it once. There used to be a website that was all for revenge porn, and eventually the guy who ran it faced, how many years in jail? I don't remember how many, but yeah, he got fucking blasted. But this was something back in the early internet days that it existed just on, you know, you could go on AOL and just look at revenge porn. It was fucking crazy. He got 18 years? Was it 18 years? You might be right.
There are two options: the lifetime basic.
Yeah, see,
and
buy with
lifetime
Bitcoin.
premium.
You're not typing in
Basic
credit
costs
card info.
$150 and includes lifetime membership, daily updates, 101 gigabytes in leaked amateur content, which is 69,300
Jesus
photos,
Christ.
3,405 video, plus a VIP section, an IP cam section, spy cam
What?
recordings, NAS Synology section, and unsorted content, which apparently they have 10 terabytes worth of. So yeah, the IP cam
Holy
section, it's
shit.
like, dude, I feel so bad for the girls that don't even know their laptop is hacked and people are just watching them. Random people are just watching them.
That's another crazy thing. Do you guys remember that back in early internet days? There was a time, I don't remember if it was Macs, but there was some laptop that shipped with a webcam built in, and it was extremely easy to access. So easy, in fact, there was a website set up on Surface Web where it would just be like a roulette. You just click a button and it'd take you to some random guy's webcam. You could just watch them living their lives. Was it Dell? It might have been Dell. Yeah, so you just have this roulette of just watching people's lives through their webcam. They had no idea. It was fucking wild. It was wild. So then, like, it was such a big deal that eventually the experts were like, if you own this laptop, just put a piece of tape over the webcam. Otherwise, you are most likely being watched.
You exist. But I just want to let you guys know that. And I'll provide some Amazon links in case you guys want to buy some webcam covers. Disgusting fantasies.
You don't want to look at my webcam? Yeah, like... It's just one of those fucking creepy things, man. I don't think looking through those webcams ever really, like, nothing, like, crazy ever happens. But it's still just fucking scary to think about.
If you are not of legal age, or if this type of material is not legal in your jurisdiction, do not enter. This site contains absolutely no videos, photos, 3D rendered art, or other illustrations of or adults. If you're looking for any of that, you're in the wrong place. It's basically saying, we have a bunch of these, like...
Shit's like a Tumblr blog.
About
the fuck?
Not only that, but they have 2 pedophilic prevention campaign advertisements to deter the users from doing anything in real life. They're obviously only doing this so it seems like, hey, we're actually the good guys. We're preventing this stuff from happening in real life, when in reality, they're just providing the acceptance, normalization, and culture of files.
That is something that is... I've seen this on Twitter. There's a verified account, couple 100,000 followers from what I recall. They have this belief that if we could just use AI to generate fake children for porn, it would solve pedophiles. There is a group of people that genuinely believe that providing, like, more child porn but without real people, that it would somehow get rid of, like, pedophiles. It is the most ass-backwards idea ever. It's fucking disgusting. They've made this post like, this is where I think deepfakes need to go. We need to create deepfakes of children in pornographic settings, so that way people would no longer be incentivized to use real children in child porn. It blew my fucking mind, and there were people supporting that. Like, all that does is provide more child porn for pedophiles and make the market even bigger for people to fucking film that shit in the real world. It's crazy. It's crazy. Twitter is just the most outrageous wasteland of horrible ideas. That's what this just reminded me of. I think it was actually Mudahar who commented on that. I don't remember what the account was that was talking about it. I know they deleted it shortly thereafter.
minor and it's still illegal to have on your device. Take lolly for example. Even though they're just drawings, you can be arrested and charged with a crime if you possess lolicon in any form. Other countries have also...
Oh wait, let me read that. I didn't know that. Is that real? You can actually get arrested for lolly? So what is Twitter talking about then where it's like, it's not illegal? In fact, lolly is something to be celebrated.
So enacted laws making lolly... We offer the best collection of real snuff and authentic R-word pictures and video clips.
Jesus
Thousands of
Christ.
photos, videos, comics, and books. Join us for your very special never forget experience. For a small one-time fee, you have unlimited access forever. We add always new forbidden content, completely safe and anonymous.
Jesus.
The document. The stuff on that document is absolutely fucking insane.
Thanks,
The worst part is that they provide image proof. So, they provide image proof by using these web links. Everything that I'm about to say is real.
They use Reddit?
They provide some video proof too. I did check out some of them, and oh my god, I never want to go back. Like, deadass, I never want to fucking go back. I never want to see those images again, but it is real. I'm letting you guys know. This shit is real. Let's go over the document. I was actually kind of stupid and I downloaded the fucking text document. I don't know why I downloaded it. I downloaded something from the dark web. It's on my computer now. It's just a dot.
It's like a J-Station video. I downloaded some shit from the dark web. Now all of a sudden I'm an 8-foot smurf. I accidentally drank the Amogus potion at 3 a.m. from the dark web. Jesus Christ, Tuv.
Yeah. So the first thing they're claiming to sell are guns. We have sniper rifles, Mossberg 500, TOZ rifles, Kalashnikov rifles. I've never heard of that. But it says made in Russia, not China, from the other video. So let's just go into something shocking. This one, bro, this is what really got me. Video filmed according to your script with torture, R-word, snuff, etc. We need from you how many actors will be, race, gender, and your script/scenario. I can't believe
Jesus
Christ.
Christ.
The youngest actor we had, 4 days after she is born. The oldest actor we had, 93-year-old woman.
Holy
I'm assuming
fuck.
it's kidnapped people, blended up babies in smoothies. A classic smoothie is a drink made from pure raw fruit and or vegetables using a blender. Classic smoothie is a healthy type of cocktail that you can drink for breakfast or a bit later. But we have a special smoothie. It's made from newborns. We place in blender the newborn with or without legs/hands/head
no fucking shot.
And blend until the mixture is source smoothies from newborns strictly in the refrigerator or cool place.
That one seems very fake.
Also buy male and female genitalia, just like they're obviously they
I don't know about that one. That one doesn't seem like a real thing.
Safe and secure container will be transferred and marked as for medical school. So they got their own methods to.
That's CIA bait.
Legit.
Yeah, it definitely seems like bait.
Cocaine, and why does that even matter? What? By reading the names, I recognize some of them. It's extremely fucking illegal. They're also selling the Logan Paul video. You guys know which one, which is a complete shock to me. It was like a YouTuber on this list. What was going on? But you know what Logan Paul video I'm talking about.
Can't you just find that on archive.org?
60 FPS.
Why would you buy that on the dark web?
Grinder.
Pretty sure it's on archive.org.
Check out their image proof and like
it makes you tier 1 Ash.
And you guys don't worry about my mental health. A lot of people comment like, I hope your mental health is good. It's good, bruh. I'm gonna go play GTA after this, right? But thank you guys so much for just
yeah, it's the Logan Paul Forest video.
It's a blessing.
I'm pretty sure it's on archive.org.
You guys, like, don't worry about me. Go on with your life. And I'll see you guys. Actually, leave a like on the video and subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys next time I upload.
Nice. So besides like illegal shit, is there any reason to go on the dark web? I know Mudahar's made a few videos on like other things besides like the worst shit on there, but what else is there? Besides just a bunch of illegal shit. To get around taxes? Like there's like accountants on there? You could charge for like services to evade taxes or something. That's more just illegal shit though. I'm saying like besides all illegal shit, people just go there to hang out sometimes. Oh, well, if it was made by the Navy, then why the hell was it made and has a bunch of illegal stuff on it? Well, the reason it has a bunch of illegal stuff on it is because the anonymity. That's like the whole point of the dark and deep web. As for why it was made, that I don't really know. It's probably to get around like surveillance or something maybe. I'm just spitballing. He's a tier 1 poopy ranger. Let's see what crimes were caught on Twitch. Off the top of my head, can I think of any crimes? Turkey, the Turkish community on Twitch was recently just caught in a massive scandal of money laundering through Twitch bits and donations. That's probably on here. What else? CSGO Lotto, would that be on here, you think?
Twitch started off as just
Prime
TV.
Raptor.
A man strapped the camera to his head and would live stream everything that happened to him 24/7. Eventually, the site grew and welcomed people from all over the world to
I
live
used to stream on
The
Justin
company had a
TV.
name change, which we now know as Twitch, and in 2014 was bought out by Amazon for $970 million. The first thing I want to do is talk about the horrible Twitch staff. Now, it's very known that Twitch has some, let's say, biased staff. Every other month, it seems like a female streamer gets banned and then unbanned within the same week, whereas a male streamer can get banned for the same thing, if not something less harmful, and end up getting permanently banned. This has been proven time and time again, with the most recent case being about Narcissa Wright, a Twitch streamer that literally tweeted out, "I want to kill myself and shoot people at Twitch headquarters."
That story is very sad, honestly.
Who was banned, and then what do you know? Unbanned a few days later. I mean, if you ask me, that should have been a permanent ban, but no. We see in this tweet here that they're reducing her ban, and basically, you know, she got unbanned, is what I'm trying to say.
Point is, Twitch, I see where your bans come, I see where they come from, but it's like, to me, it's just like, this situation, shoot people at the Twitch headquarters?
Should be a permanent ban. Now, why? Are the Twitch staff just full of simps? Yeah. And in all honesty, it does seem like Twitch has favorites. Sometimes the reasoning for people getting banned is so stupid, but then if a female does it, again, this is not every single
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't she rebanned after being... Or... Wasn't she rebanned after being unbanned and then banned again? I'm pretty sure they did correct that mistake. The whole Narcissa Wright story is extremely sad, though. That situation is horrible. I don't think many people know like the whole lore behind Narcissa Wright, but it's a honestly really sad story. Tell it? I can give the cliff notes. Back in the early days of Twitch, really Twitch was built on the back of speedrunning for a little while, like Siglimic, Cosmo Wright. Really the two of them were like pillars of streaming content on Twitch, and started to really get a lot of headlines, and then eventually ADGQ was rolling around, AGDQ started popping off. Cosmo Wright was a prolific speedrunner in Zelda games, Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time, all of that. And then over time, started to lose interest in speedrunning. I remember, I think it was 2016, Cosmo Wright entered into a Nintendo-sanctioned competition with a guy named John Numbers, where they were playing Mario Maker as a contest. And Cosmo Wright got blown out and didn't really return to streaming after that, if I recall correctly. And then after that, Cosmo Wright's mental health seemed a little spotty from what people were seeing. Eventually, Cosmo Wright transitions into Narcissa Wright, and from there, the streams that she would do were really focused on like really negative things, and it was very like a toxic environment. Eventually, Narcissa stopped streaming for a while, and what I understood is that she just outright stopped altogether. And then she posted that tweet about wanting to kill herself, and then the Twitch staff, which obviously turned a lot of heads as like, hey, what the fuck is this? So that's where the story's at. There's a lot more nuance to it, but that's kind of like the Cliff Notes breakdown. That whole story there, a lot of like sad and unfortunate things happened along the way. But since I was so big into watching Siglimic, Cosmo, that whole community of speedrunners, it's something I actively followed for a really long time.
Stephen Heyman. On August 31st, 2018, Stephen Heyman and John DiPietro, I hope I said that right, were on their way to Dragon Con, a convention made for gamers, comic enthusiasts, science fiction fans, and more.
Sounds like a joke, like Dragon D's nuts.
This is called IRL streaming. In Atlanta, Georgia, a man is seen approaching John and pins him to the ground. We can't see much, but we do get a full view of what the man looks like.
Oh, shit. Ow. JP, just let go. JP, just let go.
What the fuck is happening?
JP, just let go of it. JP, just let go of it.
Wow.
You can hear
that was awfully calm.
Say, JP, just let go. And this is due to what I'm assuming is John not wanting the man to take his camera, which the man did end up stealing. From the reports I've read, it seems like the man was never caught. The YouTube comments were full of L friend, this dude is such a bad friend, and comments like that. But honestly, that was the best thing to do. You don't know if someone is carrying a knife or a firearm, and your life really isn't worth getting killed over something as simple as a camera or your wallet, when you could just
love how the dude didn't help. Bro, you're not gonna just give up the camera. Everyone shits on Dale Brown for giving like survival advice for how to like survive in an intense situation and disarm the attacker, and you guys give him shit But the optimal thing to do is to not fight back. Just give your camera. Again, like Tuv just said, could have a knife, could have a gun. And that guy's big as fuck. That guy was significantly more jacked than Steven here. Just give up the fucking camera. Like, I guarantee if this guy did fight back and got his ass beat, people would give him much more shit anyway. Or he could have lost his life over it for a camera.
The police officer explains the call and asks Mr. Big for his name. Mr. Big explains that he doesn't need to give him any sort of information.
Oh boy, he went full Reddit.
And it's honestly a pretty long and petty back and forth from both of them. Up until the cop places Mr. Big under arrest. I would say wrongfully place him under arrest. I mean, he did have his right to not say anything. Cops can always arrest you based on suspicion. You know, it didn't seem in the clip like there was any suspicion of anything other than just the way Mr. Big was acting. Anyway, so Mr. Big gets arrested, right? They leave and they close the door. So a few minutes after the arrest, the door opens and reveals a neighbor, presumably the one that made the complaint, walking in and stealing a pair of shoes and a headset. He then returns and steals what seems to be his phone and a watch. I tuned into Mr. Big's Twitch page, and to my surprise, he still streams. Well, he took a break and is back and averages about 5 to 10 viewers.
That's
so I decided to ask him a couple questions.
What a galaxy brain scheme,
Make sure
though.
to show him some love and make sure to tell
Fucking
him
supervillain mastermind.
I'm a YouTuber. Yeah, he was charged. Guy was a career criminal, man. Had a lengthy criminal history. I think he did 3 years for that shit.
I tried looking his name up in like a Washington police directory or something. I checked a lot of websites and I did not find a Jeremy Frost ad. Not that I don't believe you, Mr. Big. It's just that I would have liked to pull up his mugshot. RickyBot. RickyBot was a 43-year-old man who streamed himself playing Pokemon Go.
Oh, yes, I do.
That?
Yes, I do,
Pokemon Go
actually.
is a mobile game which requires you to go outside in order to catch different. Since the man stole 3 cell phones and the camera itself. RickyBot was taken to a local hospital with a laceration on the side of his head and a swollen right cheek. That same night, Ricky put out a series of tweets reading, "I got mugged playing Pokemon Go in Central Park. Still talking to police and will go to the hospital soon. My jaw is a mess. Thanks all. My Twitch account got suspended. Literally insult to injury."
Yeah, that's another fucked up thing that Twitch used to do. I don't know if they still do. If a crime gets captured on stream, or like something like that, I guess, where you get your ass beat on stream, they just ban the account outright, which is weird. I remember there was that guy who was involved in a hit and run while streaming. At least I think it was a hit and run. Oh, no. There was a streamer who, while streaming IRL, accidentally captured like a shootout, I think it was. Like a guy shot at a car on his stream, and the guy got banned for it. It's really like a weird policy they have in that department when you capture something like that. That's technically against TOS, but you had no control over it, and it would also be good evidence. So I don't know why they'd like take it down. But yeah, that was something they did for all of those kind of cases. I remember that. I don't know if they still do though. Yeah.
So if I'm streaming, right, I have a malicious friend for some reason in my house, right? He comes in, says a slur, runs out. I'm getting banned. Right? It's, I hate it. I hate it so much. And this poor man got pinned down to the ground and robbed. And Twitch was like, oh, nah, that's violent. Take it down. It's like, there's a lot of stuff about Twitch that rubs me the wrong
that policy
way.
is terrible.
In case you're wondering how Ricky is doing now.
How do they justify it? Because I know they even put out a statement about it. I'm kind of curious. Where can I find those guidelines? Again, I don't know if they still do it, though. But where can I find it? Because I'm curious what they did to defend it. They don't want people faking it for clout. I remember bits and pieces back with the guy who captured a shooter on stream. I think they said something like, we're doing it to keep the VOD private for everyone involved and sharing it with the police or something. Thanks for your subcatamon. I don't remember. If I could just remember what that case was, I'm sure I could find their tweet about it that clarified. Does anyone remember what it was? Because it was a pretty big one. That one got mainstream attention. A streamer had captured like a shootout on stream on Twitch. It was valuable information for the crime, and they banned the account, which then made it inaccessible. Was it North Hollywood shootout? Man, what the fuck? This was 1997 North Hollywood shootout. I remember that. This was not Twitch, you fucking asshole. That one though changed law enforcement drastically. So this is totally unrelated to anything we're watching here with the Twitch crimes. This shootout is fucking crazy. So 2 robbers were armed to the teeth, like full-blown juggernaut from Modern Warfare 2. And they robbed a store. And the police showed up and they just started blasting. Like the guy's full auto, just letting it all hang loose. Oh, it was a bank. They robbed the bank. Yeah, that's what it was. Robbed the bank, just blasting. and the cops were shooting back, but their handguns weren't powerful enough to pierce their armor. So they couldn't actually stop them. They couldn't actually prevent them from leaving or doing anything. So they just kept walking away, taking bullets from the police while firing back. The police got so desperate for firepower, they started, I believe they raided a nearby gun store for like shotguns and other items, and as well as like just trying to find anything with a higher caliber. And it was such a long, drawn-out shootout that post North Hollywood shootout, they started arming police officers much more heavily, like more firepower in their vehicles. It was crazy. The whole thing was captured on helicopter. In fact, the only reason it even ended is because one of the officers got a lucky shot on one of their ankles, because their ankle was slightly exposed, so they hit his ankle, he fell to the floor and knew he was going to be killed, so he took his own life. And then the other one, I think, got really desperate and just started walking at them or something like that. It was something like that. It was fucking crazy. Thanks to Prime Megalodon.
The streamer reacts and is then met with a handgun being pointed at his face, and he screams. Alright, don't roast his scream, because I'm pretty sure if any of us were in that position, we would not know what to do. But I know you chuckled after that scream, and I did too. But like, let's not be too hard on that
normal
scream. One of the thieves
scream,
goes to
honestly.
keep his wife quiet, and you can hear the kids in the background. The other is beating the streamer repeatedly with brass knuckles, asking where the money is at.
How do people think it's fake
doesn't
then?
have any money, but eventually I did find the name of the streamer, and that's TMoneyFG. It seems he doesn't stream anymore, and I couldn't find a YouTube channel, unless it's the one with 1 subscriber, but I doubt it. I also found his Twitter, and it's extremely botted. 16,000 followers and no likes on his recent tweet. Yeah, a little bit weird. You would think that if he faked this, he would at least gain clout from it. And if he faked it, I don't know if he would scream like that on purpose. Plus, why would you put your kids through something like this? I mean,
I don't think it's
fake. A lot of people were
fake.
assuming that the wife set him up because she was too calm. That was stupid too. You can tell she's trying to stay calm for the kids. So
Seems like a
again,
weird
is
thing
this
to
real?
fake
Is this
if you don't
fake?
even
I
stream
really
anymore.
Can't tell. The video looked.
Ah, someone found it. Found the streamer you're asking about. Look up Bees on My Head TV carjacking. He was banned for getting carjacked while viewers were trying to use the VOD to find the guy who robbed them. Twitch came out and clarified their policy in response, stating that streamers are responsible for anything shown on stream. That's exactly what I was thinking of. A carjacking. Not a shootout around cars. You're absolutely right. Did he ever get his account back? Because this is like really a hardline stance. Twitch suspended his account for behavior caught on camera and has since informed the streamer he won't be getting it back anytime soon. Thanks again,
Security
McLovin.
breach. No, not the Five Nights at Freddy's game. So 6 months ago, on October 6th, Twitch was hacked and a torrent
Oh,
file
hey,
containing
yeah,
around
this was the,
125 gigabytes worth of leaks appeared on 4chan, and
income
that
leak.
included source code, streamer earnings, encrypted passwords, and more. We bring to you today an extremely poggers leak. Twitch is an American video live streaming service that focuses on video game live streaming, including broadcasts of esports competitions operated by Twitch Interactive, a subsidiary of Amazon.com. Their community is also a disgusting, toxic cesspool. Beginnings, mobile, desktop, and video game console Twitch clients, creator payouts from 2019 until now. Find out how much your favorite streamer is really making. And then they link.
Did they
you know,
ever
the
release
torrent
the
file.
second part
Jeff
to this?
Bezos paid $970 million for this, and we're giving it away for free. Hashtag do better Twitch. Though a bunch of stuff got
They
leaked,
didn't?
people mainly focused on how much their favorite streamers were making. I mean, your passwords were at stake, but people were, you know, kind of mad at XQC for being a millionaire, which we all know. We all know he's a millionaire.
No, that
Many
was a
people were
surprise
mad
to
at
everybody.
streamers saying they didn't make sense. It's really funny because a lot of Twitch streamers have their sub count like on the top of their heads. They're letting
No,
you know
that
how
doesn't
much money
mean
they
anything,
make. It just
though.
takes a little bit of math. And they claimed that a part 2 was coming out, but that never happened. Many people just assume it was an ex-Twitch employee or a Twitch employee who knew they were going to be fired.
I
and
doubt
they
it
were
was
just
an ex-Twitch
"All
employee.
right, before I go, I'm just going to end this off with a big bang. I'm sure you guys remember the whole Save the Kids thing.
Who could
It seemed
forget?
like when crypto was, I wouldn't say at its peak. I would say at its peak popularity within the internet culture, there were a lot of influencers really taking advantage of this. This doesn't even count the NFT thing, right? This is crypto. Crypto and NFTs are very similar, but they are different, right? You buy
Shitcoins
NFTs with
versus
crypto, crypto is just
NFTs,
crypto.
shit
There were a
art.
lot of influencers promoting a bunch of scam coins, and once their fans would like buy the coins, they would quickly just take all the money, dip, leave the coin with no value. I mean, even Aiden Ross admitted to doing this.
Chat, by the way, that MILF token shit I did a
Yeah, I
while back.
remember this one.
I already told you guys, don't buy that shit. I got paid a bag to do that shit. Like, I don't give a fuck. How many of you guys actually bought it?
Oh my god.
which was Ice Poseidon. Now, Ice Poseidon used to be a very popular Twitch streamer.
We know this
one. In case you
one.
guys haven't heard of him, he's very popular for getting swatted. Yeah, that's what he's known for. He once got swatted on an airplane.
I actually don't know if I'm allowed to watch his story on Twitch. We all know this one, though. He openly admitted to stealing, what was it, 300, 500, what was it, 300 or $500,000 from a shitcoin that he was pumping. Just very open. Watch it? I'll just explain it. I made a whole video on it when it happened. Ice Poseidon was pumping a shitcoin. Somehow his community bought into it. He ran away with 300 to 500,000. I don't remember what number it was, but it was somewhere in that ballpark. And he then went on CoffeeZilla's channel and openly said, yeah, I took the money. I was worried the coin was going to lose some value, so I thought I might as well take the money before it hit zero. And he was just very open and honest. And then CoffeeZilla said, hey, why don't you just give the money back since you still have it? I see it in your wallet. You could give the money back. And he said, I could, but I don't want to. Yep. It was fucking crazy.